How Delta Force captured Maduro
Yeah, the situation in Venezuela.
from a heavily fortified base inside Venezuela and examined the massive 150 aircraft air campaign overhead.
Nicolas Maduro having to go to court here in the United States in New York.
It's a long walk to face the wrath of American justice for...
Most people would say, who gives the right? I mean, why would one president go to another country and remove another president and bring them to justice?
And then we'll look at who's actually in control of the country now. The first thing you need to know is the American raid really started 4 months ago.
Walk to face the wrath of American justice for Nicolas Maduro and his wife Cilia.
Yeah, I understand how most people may feel. You know, when it comes to this situation, I feel like it's mixed opinions or mixed reviews. Most people feel like, no, he should not do it. Like, why are we policing the world? We're not the world police.
Really started 4 months ago with what's called Phase 1 shaping operation. Secretly inserted on the ground into the country.
Dressed in matching tan prison uniforms, they're led in handcuffs from a chopper, headed to their first court appearance, surrounded by heavily armed federal agents.
And Trump did say he was not going to be starting any new wars, or we're not going to be trying to control what is going on in other territories and other parts of the world. We're going to focus on America, you know, the America first type of stuff.
It was an all-hands-on-deck operation, getting the captured first couple of Venezuela from a detention center in Brooklyn.
They created intelligence packets that tracked Venezuelan President Maduro's movements down to the hour.
You know, we're going to put America first and focus on what is going on within America.
And they operated a fleet of stealth drones that sent constant live updates, professionally stalking his position.
From a detention center in Brooklyn to federal court in Manhattan. The early morning odyssey began with the Maduros loaded into an armored truck, then transferred to an SUV.
Every other part of the world could worry about what's going on within that part of the world. Trump did campaign on that kind of speech. He did say that when he was running for his presidency. But if you are telling me that, I understand where you're coming from. That's true. But
stalking his position. The clandestine operation developed what's called a pattern of life, which is fancy intelligence speak for what we would call a daily routine.
To an SUV, then to a helicopter for the brief flight to lower Manhattan.
Intelligence officers narrowed down Maduro's location to Fort Tiuna military complex, the large base that lies just south of the capital of Caracas, where 3 million people live.
But things change and people change. Just kind of like when Zoran Mamdani met with Trump, and Trump was saying, you know, I know Zoran Mamdani is saying all this socialism talk right now, but he will change. I changed. Trump said he changed, and Zoran Mamdani, when he finds things being thrown on his path, he's going to have to bob and weave. You know what I mean? When I say bob and weave, I'm not saying just change your mind. Like, people think they know what they want.
Map posted by top Trump aide Stephen Miller's wife Katie shows Greenland covered in a U.S. flag with the caption, "Soon.
We need Greenland."
On Saturday, January 3rd, 2026, in the dead of night at 2 a.m. local time, the U.S. government gave the green light on Operation Codename Absolute Resolve. The U.S. military launched a wave of targeted missile strikes all across the capital city.
Sometimes the words throw you a new curveball and you have to take another turn. So that is exactly what Trump means when he says people are going to change. He changed, and Zoran Mamdani is going to change also. When Trump said that, he had a very strong point. But what I'm going to say in this situation is like deciding to get Maduro to, you know, give up power, and he did say that, like, you know, he needs to step down or whatever. But, of course, Maduro was not going to do that. I'm hearing people say, well, you know, Maduro is, I mean, this is allegedly. Most people think Maduro don't want to look weak by stepping down because Trump said so. So he's going to look like, you know, he put up opposition and Trump had to come get him. That was the only way it was going to happen. I don't know if that's the truth, but just allegedly. You know, that is another story out there that people are saying, like, you know, Maduro knew they were coming after him, but this of him just surrendering power, him staying there so they could come remove him, shows a sign of strength to a certain extent. I don't know if that is true. That is just a story that is kind of out there, you know.
Helicopter make its way from Brooklyn to lower Manhattan. Take a look at this. That is the now deposed, ousted Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro and his wife Cilia Flores.
Bombs were launched from 20 different bases and ships. The ground assault element chosen for the raid was 1st Special Forces Operational Detachment Delta. And somewhat surprisingly, law enforcement from FBI agents from the hostage rescue team were also embedded alongside them to arrest Maduro.